So I couldn't afford Poppy Playtime because I'm broke. So I made it myself in 7 days, which was a really bad idea. But somehow it actually turned out pretty good. Yeah, I might get sued for this. So I started a new project, and I had absolutely nothing. Great. So instead of starting from scratch, I just copied my grab pack system from my last videos, which you can go watch after this. I mean, you don't have to or anything. So now I already have a working project. We're done. Thank you so much for watching. No, I immediately decided to break everything by switching to URP because it looks better. Doesn't this look great? I love Unity. So I spent like an hour fixing this, and by fixing, I mean clicking random shaders until something worked. So now I needed a starting area for the game. Oh, that's handy. So I created this outdoor area because I wanted the game to start outside of the factory, which is already terrifying because I don't go outside. Scary, isn't it? But don't look from outside the boundaries, don't worry about it. Okay, but it still wasn't actually that scary. So I did what every horror game does, and I made it night. Because obviously. And now it's a horror game. Probably. Hey guys, I'm editing the video right now, and I just realized I completely forgot to mention that I added the hand switching wheel, so you can change hands easier. You're welcome. So I started building out more of the map. I added more areas, more detail, because as Albert Einstein once said, more detail equals better game. Or something like that. And somehow, it actually started to look like a real game. So naturally, I tested it. And it ran perfectly. It just looked like I was watching a slideshow. So I did what any good game developer would do, and I gave my PC more power. Okay, this should be enough. Okay, time to test. What's that sound? Looks like I actually have to optimize it. And now it runs. Slightly better. Alright. It's not a Poppy Playtime game without a monster to chase the player around. And right now, there isn't really anything to be afraid of. So I needed to design my own monster. And so I went for a walk to think. This is very productive. So first, I decided I should try sketching it out. Yeah. So next, I moved right on to modeling. Never let me touch Blender again. Since that wasn't going to work, I decided to use a monster from the actual game that never really got enough screen time. That's right, Brawn the dinosaur. And now I have a monster that doesn't move. Okay, so now I had a monster, but it still didn't actually do anything, which is pretty important. So I gave it some basic AI to make it walk towards the player. Why is it not working? And now it just slides towards you, menacingly, which looked a little weird. So I added a walking animation. How do dinosaurs walk? Ah, much better. And since it can walk now, I figured it should probably attack you too. So I added a jump scare animation as well. Okay, how is something like that? But I didn't want it to only show up when it's chasing you. So I started adding some smaller moments, like it peeking around corners, or just standing there, which is somehow scarier. And after putting all that together, this actually started to feel like a horror game. No Poppy Playtime game is complete without a chase sequence, so I made one. But first, I had to expand the map a bit so we had room. Okay, so the idea is pretty simple. You walk into a trigger, the door opens, and then you regret downloading the game. Okay, time to test it. I immediately realized I made a huge mistake. So I had to balance it a little bit, so it's actually possible to escape, but still terrifying. Okay, I want the player to be chased back through the factory, back to the start. This is either a genius way to avoid making the map bigger, or the worst idea I've ever had, and it's probably the second one. Where did he go? Okay, I don't want to spoil the whole game, so watch till the end to see the full gameplay. Okay, it's day 6, which means I only have 1 day left. And that's not good. I probably should have thought about this earlier. Okay, I have a monster, a chase sequence, but still no actual gameplay. Great. So I started adding puzzles around the map to give the player something to do. And I needed some ideas, so I went outside. I don't really come out here often. It's kind of bright. I don't like it. I'm going back inside. And so I continued adding puzzles. Can't you see I'm busy right now? And then I made a main menu, which instantly makes it look like a real game. I also added some small details just to make everything feel more finished and slightly less terrible. Alright, day 7. This is the final day, and somehow I actually have a working game. Mostly. So I spent the last day just polishing everything. Fixing bugs, breaking things, fixing them again. You know, game development. I also added a checkpoint system, so when you die, you don't have to redo everything, because that would be painful. And then I made some art for the beginning and the end screens, which took way longer than it should have. I don't even know if it looks good. It's fine. And at this point, I uploaded it to itch. Which means this is now a real game, on the internet, forever. So yeah, in 7 days, I somehow made a full game. It's not perfect, but it actually works. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with it. If you want to try it out, I put the downloads for Windows, Linux, and Android in the description, along with the demo Unity project if you want to check out that too. Just, please don't sue me.